This is a long one, so if you need to grab a cup of tea, then I would do that now because you will be here a while. Good morning! Well, it's probably evening when I share this video, but it's currently good morning as I'm doing this voiceover. So I recently had the fabulous Rebecca Cresp here. We've been hatching some super secret plans, and she turned up on my doorstep with about, in total, maybe 5 nails on. So we had to fix that. So I've taken off her previous set. There's still a small layer of acrylic on some of the nails, but the rest I've done all my usual natural nail work, prep, push back the cuticles, prep, primed, everything, so we are ready to go. You know, typical nail tech, she doesn't always look after her cuticles, so some of them look a little bit dry, but apart from that, you know, that was kind of all there before she came to me. So I've applied my forms, again using those mystic forms that I'm falling in love with. I'm applying a thin clear base, and here we have the stunning Persian Prince. So a little while ago I released a glitter through the Glitter Fairy, Arabian Princess. It was Mix Up Monday, and yeah, so I decided she needed her prince, so here he is. So I'm doing a full glitter nail on the pinky finger, so I'm just using small beads of clear wet acrylic to tap into that glitter, and then I'm applying them to the nail. Ending up with a full coverage. So when I've got that nail full glitter, I'm going to come in and I'm going to cap the entire nail in crystal glass. So starting off just in front and then gently pushing back towards that cuticle area. Creating the apex I want, and then I'm going to use the body of my brush to just pat, tap and pull that acrylic down the nail. Making sure all the glitter goes nice and matte so I know it's been fully encapsulated. Now on the ring finger I'm doing a smile line, so I'm placing that bead of cover pink in the centre where I want my smile line to be, and then I'm going to blend back. Another thing I just realised about these forms, like as I was using them, they have fantastic little smile line guides. See, that will really help you to get the smile line shapes you like. think this is something I'm going to work on my next one-to-one. Getting a better extended nail bed. It's not something I do very often. I prefer a fade to a crisp smile, but I feel it's something I don't do as well as I would like, so I'm definitely going to put that on my list for my next one-to-one. So I'm just creating that nice crisp smile. Then I'm going to put another bead of this Perfect Peach behind. And then just patting in a little bit of that Persian Prince glitter. And then I'm going to cap that in Negligee. And this one I make sure I've got the right apex, nice structure there. Okay, so readjusted the form on this ring finger so it's fitting properly, applied a thin clear base, and then I'm coming in first of all with, this is Blue Jeans from CJP, so I'm putting it right at the tip and then blending up. This is one of their design powders, so you pretty much just paint it on. I'm going to do an ombre with Apple Shine, but I'm not too worried about my ombre line in the middle because I know I'm going to cover it in glitter. And this nail is going to have a lot on it decoration wise. So I just, when you know the design you're going for and you're going to put loads of things on top of it, I don't stress too much about getting things perfect underneath because you're not going to see most of it. So I just need that rough ombre there. Pop some glitter across, and then I know that I'm going to put loads of decoration on this nail anyway, so it doesn't all need to be like absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to add that little S of glitter, usual kind of glitter trail, and then I'll be capping that one in crystal glass. And onto the ring finger again. The camera was having a bit of a shake about. I've applied that thin clear base. And coming in with my apple shine. In diagonal line and then blending up and then taking that down the length of the nail there. Make sure I've got a nice even coverage of colour. And getting a bead of clear acrylic, small wet bead, dabbing it in that glitter and blending it down. So I've got a nice glitter fade from the cuticle, and then when I'm happy with all the glitter placement, I will again cap this nail in crystal glass. Now the thumb I did a full glitter nail, just like the pinky. So I'm coming back to this ring finger, and I'm just going to file in that smile line. Now the form moved a bit as I was filing, but not to worry, so I just tightened it up again. And then I'm ready to create the tip on this nail. So I'm going to start off by putting a clear base down. And then coming in with a small bead of blue jeans to really show off that crisp smile line there. Bringing that down again, a bit of a diagonal. And then getting a small bead of clear acrylic into that glitter, and then just filling in the rest of that nail with that glitter. And then when I'm happy with all my glitter placement, I am going to cap that in crystal glass. And obviously I only need to cap the tip because I know that the shape and structure I want is already in place on the body of the nail. Now on the other hand, I did exactly the same design. Instead I used a magenta and lavender pearl, and I used the Arabian Princess glitter. So you have the blue and green hand and the pink and purple hand. So now I'm going to show you a bit of filing for these extreme lengths. I've touched on this a bit on some other videos as well. You want to make sure you're always supporting that nail as you're filing. You can see I put a bit of black tape on my thumb. Over the weekend I was doing a lot of, I did like a little photo shoot for some marketing things, and I hammered my thumb quite badly, so I didn't want to break the skin and end up bleeding all over someone, because that's not very nice. So first of all, I'm just perfecting that free edge, getting the shape I want, and then very gently around that cuticle area as usual. And then as I move down the body of the nail, do you see how my supporting fingers come off the finger and support the nail, and then as I file any side of the nail I try and rest it, and do you see how I always support it so that you're not really pushing about and you're not putting a load of pressure on your client's natural nail bed, because that's when problems can occur. But apart from that, my filing technique is all the same. Just make sure you're always supporting the length of that nail as filing. So now they're all filed in. Now we're going to start with some decoration. So here I have in my tray, I have just a mix of from my crystal wheel and my opal shades wheel, just random sizes of crystal AB and the white opal, all mixed together. This is a really popular mix for me. I always keep it kind of topped up because I just keep it in a pot, and it just means that I've got a nice mix of different sizes, different colours, and they go with lots of different other colours. And the crystal picker up I'm using is, I have been searching for one of these for so long, and I finally found one that has a good picker up. So this will soon be available to the Glitter Fairy. This was one I've been trialling, one of about 50. So this will be coming soon. So I'm just going to put in the corner of a couple of the nails some of the Swarovski crystals. So again, just doing the crystals in that corner. I'll apologise now, I think my voice keeps going croaky and stuff. It's my morning voice. I haven't fully woken up yet, so I'm not ill, I'm fine. I'm just a bit croaky when I first wake up. So I'm now going to top coat these nails. Oh, this is another set of nails as well that I got really confused as to what I was doing. So I go a bit back and forth. Instead of just top coating like from one finger along, I go, oh no, I'll do this one. Oh no, I'm not. Oh wait. So I put top coat on all of the nails, but then I remove it from the middle finger, because this is where I'm going to add my 3D, my extreme 3D flower. So ignore, I'm not really doing this, ignore that. I'm not doing it. You know, la 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 la, pretend I'm not doing it, because I'm going to take it off, because I always prefer to work on the freshly filed acrylic rather than on a top coat, and then I top coat around my embellishments, and I just find that that helps them all adhere properly. See, this is where I got confused, because I'd left the ring finger thinking I'm going to put my extreme 3D on there, and then I was like, oh no, you're not, that wasn't the plan at all. So yes, I'm going to top coat all of these, and then I'm going to cure for 60 seconds in my LED lamp. Okay, so I then failed to record adding the embellishments to the green nail, so I'm going to show it on the pink nail. Oh, these colours together. Oh my god, I'm not a pink person, but dear lord. This magenta and lavender pearl look amazing together. So again, done the exact same on this hand as I have the other. I have created two 3D roses, one using apple shine and one using magenta. I did not show this on video. This would have made this video so long, because it's like 40 minutes long as it is. So I will, at the end of this video, I will link, and also in the description, the video I have done previously on how to make my extreme 3D roses. So as you can see, I've just put a bead of magenta on the nail, and I put another bead on form paper underneath. So I'm using tweezers just to pick these up and get an idea of where I want it. I let that acrylic set a little bit, and then I can push the flower in so that I get it at the right angle. And now I'm going to add some petals to that flower, just to make it a little more part of the nail. So this is using the same technique as I have shown again in the video, and this is how I made all the petals there. So I'm just coming in, and I'm using my size 8 brush. You can do this with a 3D brush, but I prefer to do it with like my normal working brush. So just trying to get a nice petal shape. I don't want it really smooth around the edges. And then when I'm ready to take it off the form, I just check, and I do that by just sliding the tip of the brush underneath the petal, back and forth, back and forth. And if it comes off the paper easily, it's ready. If it doesn't, give it another minute. So that's ready to come off. So I'll slide it off, then picking it up. I'm going to really angle. Now I wanted a really ruffly effect, so I'm wanting a lot of movement in these petals. As you can see, I'm just placing underneath, just so it becomes more part of the nail. It's not just a rose plonked on. And you've got less chance of pinging them off, because if I'd left it like that with the big gap at the back, you'll easily catch that and ping your rose off. And then I'm just layering them round. So that one got a little folded, but I figured no, I'll work with that. Push that in. Try not to touch the skin like I have there. And then just fold up, but then again pulling it down so it's not ending up nice and flat. You're keeping that lovely ruffled look. Getting this other bead. Fanning out, creating that petal. Now this one, I admit, I picked it up before it was 100% set, so it wasn't quite ready to be picked up, so it was a bit too floppy. It's one of those cases where we had been working on these nails for so long. I never take this long doing a set of nails, so I kept stopping and wandering off and doing stuff, so it's like, oh my god, 4 hours later I'm only just putting the roses on, and I was like, I just want it done now. Now we have placing on that final petal. Again, nice and roughly, you want a lot of movement. Of texture in the nail, and there you go. So you see it looks more part of the nail now rather than just an embellishment stuck on top. And now I'm going to add some Swarovskis. So I'm using the Crystal AB Raindrop in both the 10 and the 6mm, using a bit of my CJP gripper glue. And using 2 of the larger ones. Just left a tiny little gap at the top because I'm going to fan out some of the smaller ones. So no, can't fit that one in there, so we're then going to put that around the other side. And again, whenever I'm doing like a cluster or an embellishment, it's a bit of trial and error, just see what fits where, but make sure they're all fitting nicely together, because if it's a little loose or there's a tiny little gap between the nail and the crystal, that's when you start getting crystals and stuff pinging off. So you want to make it as tight a fit as possible on that nail. And then out comes my trusty crystal mix, and I'm just going to add some round flatbacks around those raindrops just to fill in any gaps. Again, just try and make it flow. And now to add the centre of my rose. So I'm going to use a bit of my Accents Gel Play, Bling On, which is a really thick gel, which you can also use for applying your clusters. And I'm just putting it in the centre there. And then I'm going to use my Crystal Pixie in Cute Mood, also from Hazel Dixon, and just sprinkle that into the gel. and then I'm just going to press it in a little bit. Now over the weekend when I did nails for the photo shoot, I also did little lines of gel along like the edges of the petal, so the crystal pixie would stick to that. That looked super cute for pictures, but the chance of that lasting is extremely low. That will easily get pinged off, so I didn't bother putting it along the edges of these petals. And now I'm coming in with my detailer brush, and I'm just adding top coat to that nail. So making sure you're looking at it from loads of different angles, every nook and cranny, making sure it is entirely covered in top gloss. Getting right in there, making sure you go up to the crystals, not over them, but up to them, so they're not going to come pinging off. And finally, on the ring finger, I'm going to add some regular 3D roses. So this is the kind of rose you would normally do on your clients rather than the extreme ones. The extreme 3D, Becca was here for a couple of days and they're still going strong. If you're careful with them, they will last. If you're a bit rough with them, you'll find like petals knocking off and stuff. So you're doing a little flatter 3D as well. And I think when you put the flat next to the really extreme 3D, it's funny how they both look such extremes. So I'm just going to create these petals as I usually do, using my brush at a 45-degree angle, slowly layering up until I've got a nice little rose. and then just add a few little crystals around that rose, and then we're done. And give all that acrylic a little chance to set, and then you can add some cuticle oil and the nails are complete. So I hope you managed to stick with me till the end, guys. That is this beautiful set of nails, the most important royal wedding of the year, I feel. Arabian Princess finally has her Persian Prince. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Any questions, comments, feedback, etc., just pop it all below. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. Bye!